Hello, hello. Hey, what's up? How do I sound? Smegulation pissener. Do I sound okay? I don't sound like a robot or anything weird. Okay, great. Just making sure. No face cam today because hey, what's up? V1 Sully and Dank1 Sinatra. It's good names today. Hey, what's up? The Villafox and Matty Rar. Yeah, I sound like me. No face cam, at least not right now, because I'm going to be filming backgrounds for Nick over the next however long I'm on. And last time I did it, I wasn't paying attention, and I filmed it all with my face cam. And so I filmed like 2 hours of useful backgrounds. So not doing that again.
Press A button.
Having a rough day. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know, Zoe. I've been having a pretty good day. Mark the Frog. What's up, buddy? All right, let's I am. I'm having a great day. Thank you. Yeah, I jeffed it. I definitely did. I was just looking through the footage today because Nick put the call out for more, and I was like, ah, Christ. I really fucked that up. But that's okay. So we'll do it again. Luckily, I stayed. It'd be interesting to have like an oil derrick in the background. That's new. Never done that before. Dude's working on it, walking around and stuff. Yeah, let's do this. Fuck it. All right, we're going to do 15-minute backgrounds. Start recording now. No face cam. And oil Eric. What games do I normally use for backgrounds? There's a bunch I filter through, I siphon through. I think I've probably used No Man's Sky more than any other one, but I've been using Call of the Wild games a lot, the hunting and the fishing one. Far Cry 6 is great for it. Some of the Fallout 76 is okay. Sea of Thieves is good. Just Red Dead sucks for it, at least on the Xbox. I think on PC there's command controls you can maybe use, but on the Xbox there's an idle camera that kicks in after about 2 minutes. Oh, dude, I caught him going down the zip line. That's awesome. It's impossible to break out of it or turn it off, and so it makes filming in Red Dead almost impossible unless you're constantly moving. And even then, if you move too slow, it still turns on. What'd you say, Mark? For apologies on my inability to uphold my commitment to the. Oh, dude, you've done me a favor. You don't even know. I've been going through all my baseball cards in the background and making boxes. And right now I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 11. I'm looking at about 22 long boxes of cards, Mark, that I've been holding on to just in case. I figured as much. I figured it'd be way too cost and time prohibitive for you to do it, but just in case, I've been holding on to them. But now I don't have to any longer. I can get the fuck rid of them. So thank you. Just made my office a little cleaner. Speaking of sausage being made, there's a sausage talk coming out this week. Sausage talk number 3 comes out this Friday. What did I think of the over-under game? I thought it was cool. We joke about how, or I don't even joke, we've talked about it in the past, but about how I at least I've talked about how I don't really ever get FOMO for anything. It's just not, I'm not wired that way. But when I'm out of town and they're making shows, I get FOMO. And so I always like have a love-hate relationship because I love what they make, but I hate that I wasn't there to be a part of it. How about an idiot hat? I don't know. Maybe we'll do a patch. Maybe we'll do like a patch for the shirt. Idiot patch. And then you can put it on anything. Long ride on a motorcycle, 75 degrees and sunny in New Hampshire. That is awesome. I just went. I just got home from a trip. A trip across town. I went and had lunch at a coffee shop, and well, yeah, I guess a coffee shop, and worked on So All Right, compiled everything we're gonna do. I'm gonna talk about tomorrow in So All Right, and then I went by the regulation office and spent some time there because we had a huge rainstorm in Austin last night, like a massive rainstorm, and it's the first one we've gone through with the office, and so I wanted to go make sure it didn't flood or anything crazy happen. And then I just didn't want to leave while I was there, even though I was the only one there. So there wasn't much I could do, but I just loved being there. I saw the leaked cast, the potential leaked cast for 50. It seemed cool. Yeah, I figured as much, Mark. I mean, gas is fucking expensive. Have I thought about using Oblivion Remaster? I have. I looked at it. I couldn't figure out how to turn all the HUD elements off when I tried, but I could try again. Amazon mini trucks, RC mini trucks. We've got some RC plans for some different stuff we've been working on for a while. How soon should we be expecting more Sloppy Joe's Bingo? Pretty soon. Pretty soon. There should be one. You know, it hasn't been officially announced, so until it is, it's not official, obviously. But I believe the plan is to do one in June. It's probably in like towards the end of June, even maybe. Trippy hippie. Life's been great. Do I get into Marvel Rivals at all? No, not at all. Balatro I played a little bit. I played on stream a little bit for like a week. But Marvel Rivals, not my thing. Eric likes it a lot. I know he's into it. Blueprints, yeah. I streamed Blueprints a couple weeks ago. It's a great game. Cyberpunk could be... I don't remember if I can turn the HUD off or not. You'd be surprised how few games allow you to go fully HUDless. And then if they do... they tend to have idle animations that kick in, you know? And if they don't, they tend to kick you for being idle. So it's about like 1 in every 10 games you would think would be good for filming is actually good for filming. I was kind of thinking about doing it in Minecraft, though. Fuck, why not? That'd be fun. Huh. That's an idea. What is my favorite game of all time? Oh, geez. Probably Peggle 2. SnowRunner's immersive mode is great. Yeah, SnowRunner's great all the way around. I tried to film it I tried to film Backyards and SnowRunners, but I could just never get it to work right. Happy Tuesday, Captain Gam. We'll switch up this location in about 7 minutes. It's just, there's only so many, and it's like, no offense to Marvel Rivals, but, you know, it's an Overwatch clone, and I played a shitload of Overwatch when it came out, so I kind of feel like I've already had the experience, you know? It's not fair to Marvel Rivals to say that, but it's just that kind of game style, that kind of game type, the push the crate from one end of the map to the other or stop the other team from pushing the crate. Just, I got sick of it. Which is weird because I never get fucking sick of Warzone or anything in Call of Duty, but I think it's just that Call of Duty is my multiplayer game now. Gems of War I haven't played in a while. I don't know that I ever will again. I had a great Memorial Day weekend. Thank you, Thayer. Did you? Emily and I went to a show. We did a lot around the house. We hung out with friends. I went with her and the girls to a Labubu drop that we'll talk about on regulation at some point. I went swimming yesterday with some other friends that were visiting from out of town. I haven't played Call of Duty since not too long after we filmed that video, Kitmer. I was playing pretty regularly up until I went out of town for my vacation, and I was gone for like 3 weeks, and then I was sick when I came back, and then we went right into production, and I haven't touched Call of Duty since then. So probably I probably haven't played Call of Duty. I haven't played Call of Duty in Season 3 at all. I think Season 3 is already out. Seen any movies lately? I saw Sinners, and I watched Black Bag, and I feel like I watched another movie too. I did. What the fuck was it? Emily and I watched a movie. Huh. Must not have been very good. I haven't watched any anime yet. I'll get there. You butchered that sentence, Mark, but I completely missed it. Let me back up and find it. What doing some filming in Halo 3 or Reach Forge mode? Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Mark. I think Halo would be great for it. I just have spent so much of my professional life in Halo and filming in Halo that, you know, I'm okay to take a break. Halo and Minecraft both. I'm okay to take a break in. Doing great, Elle. Thank you for asking. Hope you're doing well. Any more attempts on new trucks? I think we've filmed a new video that is coming out soon. Maybe. Yeah, I think we're one ahead. You got to the antechamber. Oh, did not have the steps to leave. I still haven't been in the antechamber yet. I got it open, but I haven't made it. I haven't RNG'd my way there yet. I haven't played in a couple weeks. Anyone else hate the new Lilo and Stitch? Man, that Lilo and Stitch is going to make so much fucking money, though. Kudos to... Fuck, who got it? Gavin, maybe? Gavin or Nick, whoever got it in the draft. I have played Halo before, yeah. Am I going to check out the Punk Rock Museum in Nashville when it opens? I didn't know there was one in Nashville. There's one in Vegas, but I haven't really felt a pull to check it out. Just got back from a busy day in Shoreditch. Oh, dude, I love Shoreditch. What were you doing in Shoreditch today, Pigeon Studios? Shoreditch is a very fucking cool place. I used to always, when we would do like RTXs and stuff in England, there was a lot of reasons to go to England for work back in the day. We'd go there a couple times a year, and I would almost always stay in Shoreditch. Even if every single other person, like every time we'd go to RTX London, everybody would stay like in a different part of town, and I would be by my fucking self in Shoreditch, not giving a shit. Just love that area. What if you just got to GoPro and film your bike rides? You know, Mark the Frog, I have actually pitched to the guys a bike riding podcast where we all mic up and then ride bikes and talk. And I think we have to do our mall walking podcast first, but after we test that out, I think the bike ride one is on the agenda. So you might see that at some point. You've got your idiot pennant in its wrapper. I don't know. I don't know, like the most prominently displayable wall in your house or work, I guess. Any advice for a new homeowner? Just bought our first house and move in the 25th of the next month. Congratulations, Ronnie. Let me ask you a question before I give you advice. What year is the house? How old is it? Yeah, I'd say that's pretty typical. That's how I discovered the band Hot Water Music. I fucking hated them, and then I saw them live, and it completely flipped me on them. It happens. Off the trails. That's funny. It's a Citrial castle, but if you can last the night, it's his. If you can solve the mystery of the castle. $1952 with a new roof furnish, new septic, leach field, and great bones. I would honestly, Ronnie, I would start saving now for what's going to break. And when something breaks, take it in stride, because something will break. Something always breaks. Every year, something will break. It sucks, but you make the best out of it. But yeah, I would start saving now, because you never know when one day you come home and the windows on the west side of your house have north side, south side of your house have melted out of the walls. You don't expect that to happen, but it can and will at some point. Just melted right out of your fucking walls. Or a 80-year-old pipe disintegrates under that 25 feet under the house. Or your foundation cracks. Or the AC goes out. Or you find out that the electrical that was run to the house isn't enough to handle the house, and you have to rerun all of the electrical, which takes 6 months in Austin, by the way. What is with people in British Isles who have the notion that if a town is more than 45 minutes away, it might as well be the other side of the world? It's always something. Yeah, it's always something. I think it cost me 18 grand to fix my foundation last year when it cracked right before I sold the house, which, by the way, I fixed 5 weeks before I sold the fucking house. That was a great little surprise. And then you're like, oh, cool. Now I'm going to sell it. Awesome. Congratulations to you as well, Mini Matt. Tree falls on your roof. Yeah, that happens. That fucking definitely happens. What can you imagine will happen? Yeah. Just honestly, just start saving money because there is always fucking something. Even the stuff that works well, Ronnie, like the new roof. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to prepare you. I owned homes for 27 years straight before I sold my house last year, and 3 homes across 27 years, and it was the same thing with every fucking home. One of them was built in the 80s, one of them was built in the 30s, one of them was built in the 40s. All had the exact same problems. Yeah, it's always something is how people like Mark the Frog earn a living, right? Man, you'd be kicking yourself for the rest of your life for missing Chaperone before she went big. Three months after you bought it. Yeah, Jeremy, that's the fucking worst. We had our AC went down in the second week of owning the house, and it was in May or June, and we right out the gate it was like 18 grand to get it all set up and fixed. You're like, I haven't even owned the house a month yet. God damn. And then it just never stops. I had to replace my breakers. I had 2 breaker panels in the house. I had to replace them both. It sucks. Yeah, you can definitely do that, Strongfoot. You can definitely do that. Oh, thank you so much, Julia the Demon. If you ever get a chance, if you're not familiar with it, maybe check out the Regulation Podcast, the thing that Gavin and I are doing now. We're very happy in it and very healthy. So betting the hot water, heat explodes. Oh, man. I think thank you for the sub, Malignant Slut Rot. I think we had that house for 6 years, maybe, right around 6 years. And every single year I owned it, there was at least a $20,000 worth of repairs or upkeep or something. Yeah, Eric, that's right, Cosmic Crisp. Eric's been having a lot of issues with this house. I haven't heard him complain about anything lately, but he had a bad run there for sure. Okay, 17 minutes. That feels all right, right? I'm going to stop recording. I'm going to look at this, make sure it recorded properly, and I'm not doing a bunch of work for nothing. And then we'll do some more. Is that what I just did? Perfect. Okay. Let's reframe and film something else. Hello. Well, jet ski, eh? Don't mind if I do. Oops, maybe I do mind. It's so hard to know what buttons to push when you've got the HUD turned off. Let's see what we see. Like the little dock over here. Got fishing on it. What about that, huh? Isn't that lovely? Okay. Let's film this for a little bit. All right, let me catch up on this chat here. Oh boy, that was a lot. Oh, you were making a seating chart for your husband's wedding. You said you were scared to do yours at first, but it turned out to be super fun. Your wedding was 6 months ago. Best day of your life. That's congratulations. Fantastic. Making the seating chart was insanely fun. It is fun because you realize you're putting conversations and people together, and you kind of envision how it's going to go. And then when it goes well, like you put two people together and they start dating, then that's got to be super rewarding. Congratulations. Having the jet ski, I thought about it briefly. If I can, I thought about it. It might be worth doing. You know what? We'll do it after this one, after this shot. Did we go on a boat in Hyde Park once? Probably. I'll be honest. Gavin and I have been friends for so long. We've been so many places and done so much stuff. It's entirely possible. I don't specifically remember it, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen for sure. Do I know that Spotify adds subtitles to some podcasts and they spell my name as Jeff? That doesn't really surprise me. Devoid, thank you for the sub. You got the good. Yeah, the best boats are boats that friends and family own. I probably could stand on it. We'll see. Watched a regulation video today. Andrew reminds me a lot of Bernie. I don't get that at all. I've heard that a few times, but I definitely don't. I couldn't think of two more different people. What's up, Phoenix? Sweet Home Appalachia. This is Far Cry 6, yeah. Thanks for the sub, Sweet Home. My latest NBA takes. I said some harsh things about Indiana. Well, not really harsh things about Indiana. I just said I wouldn't be rooting for any team out of the East because fuck the East. But I will say that I have thoroughly enjoyed watching Indiana beat the shit out of the Knicks, and they are a delightful team. And I've always loved Rick Carlisle. I think he doesn't get the respect he deserves anymore as a coach. He did for a while. He really did for a while, but I think he's kind of fallen off in that regard. And people, you don't hear him in the conversation with Spo and those guys as much anymore. I think that Tyrese Halliburton is the instigator that the NBA needs. I think that he's a big WWE fan. He's a big wrestling fan, and you can tell that he definitely brings some of that flair to the NBA, which I love. I've always liked Benedict Mathurin. I believed in him in the draft. Aaron Nesmith, it's great to see him succeed because, Celtics drafted him and he was on our team for about 3 years. We essentially had to pick between him and Peyton Pritchard. There just wasn't enough room for both, and I'm just really glad to see him excelling. I think that Indiana blew Game 4, and it should be 3-0 right now, and that the Knicks got insanely lucky. And I imagine it'll be OKC, Indiana, and I'll be happy with either team that wins, but I imagine it'll probably be OKC. He did, but he got run out of town. And then you just don't hear about him anymore. You started Dredge the other day. You've already caught almost all the fish. That's great. Masquerade. It's such a I hope you're enjoying it. It's such a fun game. I was playing it earlier today. I'm almost done with I don't think I'm almost done. The Iron Rig DLC is so much longer than the Frozen one, whatever that one was. It's I'm pretty far into it, but man, I feel like I still got a ways to go. Jason Midden says, kind of curious about something. When did I tour with Catch-22? Was it after Thomas left the band? No, it was no, it was during Thomas leaving the band. It was I kind of watched the whole thing go down. I had a bunch of conversations with him about it back in the day on tour, where I kept trying to. He was deciding that he was ready to leave the band, I think, and I was like, you shouldn't do that. And he was like, no, dude, it's fine. And I guess he was right. He went on to do very well in life. So kudos to him. But yeah, I was in the band. I was a roadie for the band when Thomas was in the band. I guess the last tour with Thomas before he left. Fishing game that looked like Animal Crossing. What was that called? Web fishing? Yeah, web fishing. Do I have any baseball opinions? Of course. Yeah. I have the opinion that I picked the right time to become a Tigers fan 2 years ago. They're fucking awesome. No problem, D-Void. Thank you for being you. Don't worry about it, Masters. You help us immeasurably just by consuming the content. I have not, JD. I'm not. Who did you give it to? Or who did you show it to? Eric's probably the one to contact for that, especially wrestling stuff. Porco Rosso? Yeah, it's my favorite Miyazaki film. Oh yeah, I'm glad you're seeing me too. I've been Hillmasters. I've been streaming usually most Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays for a while now, since last summer. But I took some time off here and there. But yeah, mostly Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays since maybe last July or August. Grilling up dogs with the fellas. We just went to Dollar Hot Dog Night at the Round Rock Express and Sheridan Dogs. Yeah, I don't know. We don't have anything planned, but hot dogs always find their way to us. Any opinions on the Hawks? Well, no positive opinions on the Hawks. I've never, I like Dominique Wilkins. Do I think a new sport will ever be invented that will become globally accepted or have all the... I think so. What do you think will happen faster, Strongfoot? Do you think a new sport will be invented that'll become globally popular, or do you think an existing sport will die? Because that's kind of what I'm waiting for. Like, we take it for granted that the NBA and the NFL and Major League Baseball will be around forever. But the NBA is, 70 years old? It's not that old, It can go away. Tons of professional sports leagues have gone away. But, I would say that we're witnessing a come up in the pickleball universe, right? Like pickleball is becoming, that was only invented like 30 or 40 years ago, and it is, especially in the last, like, since pandemic, has just really become everywhere. Emily and I got really into tennis for a couple of years there, and it became harder and harder to play tennis because every time you go to a tennis court, somebody has turned it into a pickleball court. Yeah, this guy's he's not there to fish. He's just there to get away from his family and have some peace and quiet. Aaron Gordon, thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumb totally out to the side. Completely ambivalent towards Aaron Gordon. Wasn't a huge fan of him on Orlando. Like him more on Denver than I did there. I appreciate the effort he put into playing hurt the other day. I thought that he was really impactful, given how incredibly uncomfortable you could tell he was. And I thought that was pretty selfless of him and pretty tough. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think pickleball is a fad. I mean, any more than any other sport is. It's easy to play. You can play it in a driveway. It doesn't really require you to, it's like tennis without having to chase balls. It's insanely fun. I don't know. I think it's probably only going to continue to grow. I don't know that people will ever take it seriously in the way we take the NFL seriously. You know, you watch pickleball finals on TV and shit, and it's not incredibly enthralling, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. It's so much more fun to play than so many other things. MLB is on the right track. They've done things to contemporize it. Slowing the speeding the game up was a huge benefit to Major League Baseball. They have that has helped quite a bit. The rule changes they made a couple of years ago, and you can see that it's already started to pay dividends, I think, in the States. But also, the thing that baseball has going for it is just Japan and Asia and Central America. It's so big in other countries, and it's only growing, you know? I mean, I would argue that maybe the most well-known and popular athlete in the world right now, you probably would say Messi up until recently, but I would say it's probably Shohei or maybe Kylian Mbappe. Yeah, probably, or Lewis Hamilton even. Yeah, I don't know, but probably Shohei, and his popularity is only going to continue to grow. Baseball's in a good place. Do I think the NFL will have its Wemby, Jokic? No, I don't think the NBA. I don't think the NFL works that way. In terms of, I'm sorry, I misread that. I was thinking in terms of singular stars. You're talking about in terms of international stars. I don't know. I don't know how big the NFL is. I know it's big in England and Germany, but I don't know that there's, you know, I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know enough about NFL and how it is played throughout the world like I do basketball and baseball. Yeah, the pitch clock helped a lot. The Thompson twins going to represent Jamaica in basketball. Oh man, basketball is already an international sport. The three best players in the NBA, the four best players in the NBA, in whatever order you want to put them in, Joker, SGA, Luka, and Giannis, none of those people are American. They're all international. The best American player in the NBA is not going to play for the next 400 days because he tore his ACL. Have I ever watched paddle? I've heard about it. I've never watched it. I love baseball. See, the pace of baseball is slow, except when something happens, and then it's very fast moving and relies on like cat-like reflexes and like an insane ability to make a decision on the fly. So much happens when a ball is hit in baseball, when a ball's put into play. So many different moving parts all have to work in tandem and have to know and trust what other players are doing, you know? Like the cutoff man has to trust that the center fielder is going to field that ball and get it to him in time to make the play at home, or the play, you know, the center fielder has to trust that the cutoff man is going to do that. Or there's so much happening when something happens in baseball. It's fascinating. They also say that hitting a 100-mile-an-hour fastball is the single hardest thing to do in all of professional sports. But I don't know. I'm not a professional athlete. Baseball is also the most fun sport to see in person. I'd say baseball and hockey, with football being the worst. NFL games live are fucking slow. I love you too, W1200FTW. Golf's fucking super hard. That's why people spend their whole lives being bad at it. What's up, Mr. Robot? It's crazy how someone like Ronald Acuna Jr. can throw the ball from outfield directly into the hand of someone on base. To fucking go watch some old. I completely agree with you. Case in point, I get fed a lot of 90s and 80s sports because of my age on TikTok. I went down a Bo Jackson rabbit hole the other day of Bo Jackson throwing people out at home from outfield. Jesus Christ, man. It seems impossible, the things that he did. Wow, it got real dark. That's not going to cut super great, so we'll have to stick it out for a little bit longer. Although it's not particularly fun to look at either. Fuck it. We'll just leave it here. All right, I'm going to pause the chat for a second so I can catch back up with it. I'm going to stop this. Do I want to stop this? I don't know if I do. I don't. Not yet. Not yet. Golf is fun, especially if you're just going in it because you hit. Yeah, golf is fun to play. It's not fun to get good at. Do I follow the World of Outlaws during Speed Week? No, I'm not familiar with it. We did just start going to some fucking like dirt car races here outside of Austin, though. Me and Burn Dog and Vanessa and Emily, and I was having so much fun. I don't know if I've ever really talked about this on camera much, but when Bo Jackson has a genuine claim of being the best athlete on earth for a period of time. Oh, 100%, 100%. Look at how he ended his career. He was too strong for his own muscles. Hey, what's up, Bear Bass? You thought it was cool? I was from Alabama? Oh, thank you. Did I grow up there or just born? I spent a fair amount of childhood in Alabama. I was born there. I lived there till I was 5. Then I moved to Florida. And then from Florida to Oregon. Then I moved back to Florida. Then back to Alabama when I was 10 or 11. And then I left again. And then back when I was 14. And I lived there through high school. So I probably spent half of my childhood, half of my 18 years of childhood in Alabama. Sprint car racing is great. I agree. Anyway, it's I was gonna say I spent so much of my childhood around drag racing because my stepfather at the time was a drag racer. He raced in a class called Super Comp, which was like a Top Fuel car, but just not as powerful. And so every like Thursday to Sunday of my life was driving to like the Gator Nationals or some fucking some overgrown lot in the middle of nowhere, Florida or Louisiana or Georgia or South Carolina or wherever the fuck we were going. And then hanging out on a 5-gallon bucket, sitting on a 5-gallon bucket in the back of a pickup truck for a weekend, chucking rocks at a stop sign or something while he would drag race. And so looking back on it now, it was a really interesting and unique and cool experience. But as a kid, I fucking hated it because it was boring and it smelled bad and it was loud. And I never got to go with my friends. I was always, all my friends were hanging out riding bikes on the weekend, and I was always just sitting in a fucking bleachers or something. But now looking back on it, I think it was kind of awesome. Alabama to Florida to Oregon, back to Alabama is the same path the anti-vax movement took. Jesus, yeah. Being from the South, have I ever been to a mud bog or a tractor pull? I can't say that I have. I don't know that we are doing anything for the spelling bee. Andrew always does stuff with other friends. Like he's got a spelling bee group that he gets into it with, and he always talks about it with us, but it never seems to make its way to us in content. So I'm genuinely not sure, but I would like to. Started watching AH in 2009. That's awesome, Mr. Robot. Jet ski season upcoming. You know, that's a good question, low-key, Trippy. Emily and I were talking about that the other day. We didn't really jet ski at all last year, and I think the year before we only jet skied a few times. I like. Oh, you know what? We did jet ski last year in Key West for a little bit on a. No, was that 2 years ago? Fuck me. I don't know. No plans, but maybe. I think the problem with jet skiing for us is just that if you've ever been to Austin, there's Town Lake, which you can't ride a jet ski on, but there's Lake Austin, which you can. Lake Austin's like at the west end of Town Lake, so the other end of the dam, and it's awesome, but it's really small. Like you can go from one end of Town Lake to the other and back in about an hour and a half on a jet ski. And after you've jet skied on Town Lake maybe 15 times, it just, gets a little boring. And there's a Lake Travis that you can jet ski in, but it's way busier and choppier and more dangerous and not nearly as fun. And so I think jet skiing lost its appeal to us a little bit, not at no fault of its own, just because we just ran out of new places to explore. What part of Florida was I in? I lived in Jacksonville, Florida, and I lived in Pensacola when I was like 5 and 6. And then I lived in Jacksonville from second grade until 6th grade. So just Pensacola and Jacksonville. Emily, I don't know if she's ever been to a tractor pull, but she's not from Michigan. Her parents live there now, but none of them are from there. Her family's all from California, and she grew up in the outskirts of Houston. They retired to Oregon, but then left Oregon because her sister and their family moved to Michigan and had kids. And so they wanted to be near the grandkids. So basically the whole family is kind of moved to Detroit area to follow Emily's sister and her husband, who's Kent from Ask a Ninja, actually, my old pal Kent. Love the Achievement Hunter revisit. Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun to do. It was very nostalgic. It was very warm and comfortable to walk around there. It's cool to be immersed in a thing that A, you forgot largely about, but also you made it. and forgot about it because you're like, wow, that's some good work. That's pretty cool. Kind of impressed by yourself. And then also you look at some stuff and you're like, man, I sucked. So you're kind of horrified at the same time. I like San Antonio a lot. It's a cool city. Have a good one, Hillmasters. All right, this is probably long enough on this one. Stop here. How about this? Oh, thank you, Ryanez. Yeah, we were pretty early on the. I wouldn't say we invented Let's Plays, but we were damn near there. Pretty fun close to it, doing it. Houston, my wife, yeah, she wasn't crazy about growing up there. She grew up in the Woodlands. Am I a warm weather person? I don't know. I've lived in Texas for 30 years. So I guess I'm a warm weather person by default. I don't ever spend more than like a week in the cold weather at a time, so I don't really know. We'll find out when we move partially to Michigan. I'm sure he forgot his phone, the land detonator. That's how he pulls it off. Land donator. He's like, but sweetie, I had my phone turned off. I didn't even realize. Guys, my wife texted me. She loves me, so that's a relief. Love the area, not the people. What's up, Daddy Delph? Hot outside, but cold inside. I always want it to be cold inside. Was I aware of the 4-player podcast? No, I don't think I've ever heard of them. Half the reason I picked her is because the free haircuts don't hurt. Remember fails of the week? I do remember it. That was a lot of fun to make for a time. What are my thoughts on Rooster Teeth being bought again? Yeah, we went through it all yesterday in the stream. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I'm happy for Bernie. He seems genuinely over the moon and really excited to bring it back in whatever capacity he's going to do that in. And he has, all of my love and friendship. Whatever they like, I'm sure they'll. I don't know. I really don't know what the plan is, but whatever the plan is, I'll sign up. I'll be a first member or whatever they're going to have going on if they ever do anything like that. However I can support them, I will. Well, you know why I got it today, Ryones. Let me tell you, let you know a secret. I sent her flowers, not because I was in trouble, but just because flowers are a big deal to her, and so every once in a while, you gotta do something nice just to be nice, just to show that you care. Thanks to the sub, more than less. And to you as well, Box of Cocks. Thank you, Box. Without spoilers, what am I most excited for in Regulation Year 2? Oh, geez. More Falcon events on the Discord. I really enjoyed doing that kind of stuff in season 1, and I would really think the. I mean, I enjoy doing the public events too, like public sloppy joes and all that. But I like the intimacy of like doing a movie watch along with the Falcons, that kind of stuff. More non-gaming content drafts. We just did 2 drafts on Friday. We did sidekicks and robots, and it reminded me how much I love doing that stuff. So tons more of that. There's a bunch of new shows that we want to try out and that we've got ideas for. So hopefully a little bit of travel. Got to get. I'd love to visit Deputy Indiana. I'm excited for Nick to wear the red boots so we can do season 2 of Fuck Face Off. The Office, just every way that we're going to get to use and then use The Office. This is Far Cry 6? Yeah. With spoilers. What's up, the MB Volpine? Do you plan to always release Falcon stuff later on Patreon? 2 Falcons, yeah, I believe so. I think that's how it works. You hope Andrew does more game show type stuff? Yeah. We'll definitely do more of that kind of stuff, for sure. Like, I'm sure you'll see Over Under again at some point. They seem to have a lot of fun playing that. Thanks for the sub, Lovely Knights. RPX? Never. There will be no RPX. No, Fuck Face Off Season 2 will not be baseball. It's in a different sport. I think, well, it's not my news to spoil, but I don't know if it's a spoiler. But I know that the Falcons over on the Patreon helped Andrew come up with a lot of the material for it. So if anybody here is a Falcon and can verify that the sport is out there, I'll say. I just don't know. I wasn't there for that. So I'm not sure how it was presented to them. Andrew finally gets the fake mustache off his lip. You espousing the virtues of Florida, Mark the Frog? Key West, one of the coolest places on earth. Dry Tortugas down there. There's a lot. A lot I really like about that area of Florida. You'd love to see Gavin doing something basketball related. We'll film with Andrew in whatever way he wants to. It's definitely not baseball. So Gavin doing anything sports related is hysterical. I agree. Am I a car enthusiast? I like cars, sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm enthusiastic about my car. I enjoy getting cars. not that I get cars all the time, but yeah, I like cars. My brother-in-law, my cousin's husband, he is like into cars in a way that I never could be. But I do like cars, but I don't know about engines and why a Lamborghini is special, Dream car, if I could only drive one. I'm pretty happy with the car I have right now. I would consider it pretty close to a dream car. But if I could have one car on Earth that I don't currently have, I would probably have a, 1980s Grand Wagoneer. Yeah. Like a wood panel Grand Wagoneer. Big old beast of a car. I have an M5, yeah. A 2019 M5. and I've never been happier with a vehicle in my life. But it's also like way more car than I need. My car has 600 horsepower, which is ludicrous. I drive it, I don't know, 20 miles a week, you know. I rarely go over 40 miles an hour. But yeah, I think an old Grand Wagoneer would be really nice. I wish that the fucking like new macho tech bro-y fucking movement hadn't co-opted Ford Broncos. I've always loved old Ford Broncos, 70s models Ford Broncos my entire life. But then I just don't like the people that drive them in Austin, and now you get like old Broncos that cost like 125 grand when I was growing up they were fucking free practically. So I've transferred all of that affection to Grand Wagoneers. So I'm sure that'll get fucking ruined soon. Oh, I drive a race car. Yeah, I got no interest in the new Broncos. I've driven my car on occasion. Fast, yeah. I think Blaine has one or had one and really liked it, but they just don't appeal to me. The bigger ones was like an Alpine version or whatever. I like more than the sport version. But overall, yeah. Also, they're so expensive. Jimmys are cool. Do I ever get annoyed with repeat questions or when people ask for things that have already been addressed multiple times? Andrew in person, AH reunions, Let's Plays. No, I don't really get annoyed. It's bound to happen, you know. Throughout the course of the last 23 years of my career, millions of people have come through the doors at one point or another, and hopefully most of them left feeling positively towards me, and when they swing through again, you know, they're not all coming from the same time and era, and they're not always going to have been there 30 minutes earlier when somebody asked the question, you know. So I'm happy to answer any questions. I also don't expect people to like read a fact before they hop in a chat either, you know. The world just doesn't work that way. Was there a blue collar job from my childhood that would have been cool to go into? I always wanted to work at a supermarket, and I never got hired when I was in high school, and to this day I kind of want to. My retirement plan in terms of work, I think I'd really like to work at Menards in Michigan and do stocking, like stock shelves, front cans, do that kind of stuff. I've always wanted to do that. '57 Chevy Bel Air is a fucking great car. Oh, all the animals I killed? Yeah. Yeah, new viewers and listeners are the point. Yeah, I want to say hello again to as many people as I can. I've put like every ounce of myself into Regulation, the Regulation podcast, the Regulation company, Regulation gameplay, all that, and I want everybody on Earth, 7.5 billion people on Earth, I believe, somewhere right around there, and I would like them all to listen to at least 2 episodes of the Regulation podcast. And so I'll do everything in my power to reach out to and find as many people as possible, including stream on Twitch for a couple hours, a couple days a week, so that I can trick you into listening to the Regulation podcast. You worked at a deli at a Kroger's? That'd be cool. We're on back and knees. I'm not worried about it. I'm in good shape. The Go Now guys. Well, I talked about it recently in a So All Right that I'd like to move to a port town and just watch the boats go in and out all day long from a park bench, and I would definitely like to do that. But to pay the bills or just to keep me active, I think working at at a store like Menards would be a lot of fun. I always wanted to be a pool cleaner growing up. I always thought that would be fun. When I got out of the Army, I was 23. And so I was in the Army for 5 years. I was in the Army from 18 to 23. Really 17 to 23, but 18 to 23. So when I was like actively in. And I spent so much of that 5 years daydreaming about what I would do outside of the Army, you know, what I would do after. And I had it in my head that I was going to be the 1998 version of Jack Kerouac, and that I would take everything I had from the Army and throw it away and just hop in a car and just drive off into the sunset and never worry about being on time or wearing a watch ever again for the rest of my life. And that is not how things went. I was married. I had responsibilities. I had bills. It was a very different life. I did take all my Army stuff and donate it to Goodwill the day I got out of the Army. I put everything I had into 2 duffel bags and just threw it at the Goodwill. I did save my Class A's and like 1 or 2 other things, but almost everything I ever had in the Army is gone. And I don't know. At that point, I had these visions that I would go to San Francisco and show up at the Maximum Rock and Roll House, and they would fall in love with me, and they'd let me live there, and then I'd become this punk rock poet, laureate, modern day Jack for the time Jack Kerouac kind of figure. And boy, that didn't happen. I don't remember why I was going down that road now, why I started talking about that, but it's funny how you think things will go and then how they actually go. But in that process, I daydreamed a lot about working at gigs. And I thought I would be like, I'll work as a pool cleaner for 6 months. I'll get the experience, and I'll go build fences for 6 months. I had a friend who cleaned fireplaces. He said he could get me on doing that. I could go work at fireplace. I had a dude who worked for a private investigator who was a friend of mine in Jersey. He said I could help him do that, you know. And so I had this idea in my head that I was going to do all these different jobs for 4 to 6 to 8 months just to get the experience, get the stories, and then I would become a writer, you know, and it would just all be fuel for and material for my writing gig. And my life didn't go that way because of responsibility and relationships and stuff. But I romanticized a lot of those jobs in my 20s, and I've been very fortunate from essentially 26 on to work for myself in a creative role, which is, knock on pressed wood, the dream. But because of that, I never did those shitty jobs that I romanticized. So I still romanticize them a lot in my head, even at 50 years old. My hopes and goals are just that the Regulation Podcast continues, that we continue to challenge ourselves to be funnier and to reinvent our little comedy wheel over and over again, and that we prove that The Office proves to be worth it. You know, The Office is a bit of a gamble on whether we actually need it or not. We did pretty well this last year without an office, but, you know, the thesis is that we will increase our ability and the quality of things that we make with The Office. And so my hope for the year is that proves to be correct. Oh, did it stop recording? Okay. How long did that record for? Sorry, give me a second here. Perfect. Okay, let's do, honestly, let's do a different game, huh? Let's do... I didn't Sea of Thieves in a while. Let's do Sea of Thieves. Oh, Christ. How much is this going to suck? I listened to the Ultimate Playlist of 98 Supplemental and loved the story of how you met Catch-22 and ended up going on the road with them. Did you ever go on the road with any other bands? No. I made friends with a lot of other bands at the time, but I when I left Catch 22 to move to Texas, I kind of left the idea of that behind. And I never really looked back. If I hadn't left New Jersey to move to Texas and I'd stayed in New Jersey, I'd probably still be working in the music industry in some capacity, I think, booking bands or as a talent agent or who knows. Maybe I'd have started a record label. Your dream for regulation is a fourth wheel. I definitely want to get deep into the wheel in 2026. That's for sure. Or 2025. Bill Murray. Got it. Thank you. What's the game that's captured me the most this year? Probably Dredge or Blueprints. Yeah. Treasure Blueprints. I wish this would hurry the fuck up. Oh, I'm happy to be here to help, Landinator. What is your current YouTube whole series? I don't have one right now. My current whole series is Secret Lives of the Mormon Wives on Hulu. I've been watching the dog shit out of that over the last 4 days or so. I think I've got 2 episodes left of the first 2 seasons. You can see me being a morning radio host. Well, thank you, Dinkelberg, and I'll take that as a huge compliment because that's what the Regulation Podcast is to me. It is my version of the Howard Stern Show. All I've ever really wanted to do professionally, it took me a long time to realize it, but once I did, I understood it about myself, is that I've basically just wanted to be Howard Stern in some capacity, and I would say that Regulation is our wholesome version of that. Oh, thank you, Regulation Rat. That made my day better, hearing you say that. We'll fucking finish things up already. What is the wheel? Oh, man. The wheel is an example of the Regulation Podcast at its absolute best. It was a wheel that we spun to determine the order of something or a pick that then we threw a second wheel on, and then the second wheel had, if you land on one of the options, it goes to the second wheel, and the options on the second wheel get unhinged, and then it eventually led to a third wheel, and it has just become a major device in Regulation. Yeah, Blueprints, Prince, but you know, it's obviously an entendre. So you're not wrong for thinking it. Season 6 fucking teen. Okay. Me and Jack showing how to get the car roll achievement in GTA 4. Man, I don't even remember that. Even back then, people said we'd be great radio hosts. Ah, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Blueprints is one of the most inventive and I think accessible games ever made. It is. I think it would appeal to just about anybody on Earth except for Eric. How does a career work in the American Army? I didn't stay on a base longer than 18 months before being posted in a new location. Ultimately led to me leaving because it was such a pain. So I don't know how it works now. My knowledge of the military is, you know, from 1993 to 1998. But the way it worked when I was in is you'd go through all your schooling, basic training, AIT, whatever all that is, get your duty assignment, probably be at that duty assignment for 3 years. For me, it was Fort Hood, Texas. Then after that, you typically do a stateside and then a overseas or a hardship tour, or 2 statesides and an overseas or a hardship tour. At least it was back in the day again. And so you do like a boring U.S. duty like I did, Fort Hood, and then you typically would go to like Korea for a year or Germany or wherever, and then back to the States. But I went from Fort Hood to Fort. I was a journalist too, so my path was a little different. My options were a little different. But I went to Fort Monmouth, New Jersey, and then I got out of the Army there. Otherwise, I would have probably had to go to Korea next. Shit. How the fuck? What's the goddamn climb button? Fuck it. Ay, ay, don't want that. Let's do that. All right. Man, it's been a minute since I've filmed in this game. You ever get around to doing those GTA heists? I guess I did them the first time around. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Scone527. How are you doing today, David Thagwood? Thoughts on Survivor 48 if you're caught up? Yeah, I watched it all. I thought it was a super medium season, I guess. I really liked Shane, and not just because he has direct ties to our podcast, but I thought he was really fun and interesting to watch. I was bummed how a lot of it went down, but you know, I was okay with. I guess I was okay with how it ended. Cameraman falling to shit all the time. What was my favorite series filmed in AH? Minecraft 7 Days. What was it? Oh, geez, I don't know. We filmed all the co-op missions in Far Cry 4, maybe. And I remember laughing the most I've ever laughed in my life in that 4 episode little stint we did. So I'd say that. So probably not something that a lot of people remember, but yeah, those videos where Jack got run over by his own car were very funny. All I can think about is Rudy's Barbecue and Taco Shack. I hear you, Lost Grilled and Cheese. There's some new barbecue. Check out KG Barbecue if you get a chance. It's real good. It's like Egyptian and Texas barbecue fusion, and it's become very popular here. His singing was great throughout. Yeah, when he would do the when he would do the interstitial music. Yeah. You know, the movie was great. Thank you. Can't wait till we see what... Dude, Gavin and I were just talking the other day about how, like... You know, if GTA 6 is anywhere close to GTA 5 in terms of filmability, man, we'll have 500 videos in that game before we start to get sick of it. I mean, we're still having fun in GTA 5, or GTA Online, I guess. We did a test Let's Play at the office with Hunting Pack and Sumo. It's not going to come out, I don't think, because there was some audio problems, which is why you do a test Let's Play, right? To test the audio. We had some routing issues, but it was just game types I forgot about. They're just so much fun to play. I think we played Sumo 3 times now because of it. Did I get into precarious positions while doing photography in the Army? Yeah, a lot. There is something about being behind a lens that makes you feel invulnerable. And you, I don't know, it makes you far too brave. What's up, the Otter Misfit? What's up, Man Who Wanders? Do some stuff in Red Dead. I wish Red Dead was more conducive to filming, I guess. I agree, you know. It's just like I spent a lot of those years getting close on Red Dead to filming stuff. Like something that just like almost worked but didn't quite. There's a lot of that in Red Dead. How long until Gavin starts shenanigan videos in the office? I would argue that maybe they've already started. An Uno Blindside. They just put out, I wasn't in it, but they just put out the Heist the movie. It was, I think, well over 3 hours long. So check that out if you want. It's even longer than Uno the movie was, and I think Larry edited both of them, so... Same editor. Do I think they released GTA 6 online at the same time as the story mode? I do not. I think that they got away with pushing it in GTA 5, and so they'll do it again in GTA 6. They know they can. Does being behind the lens make you feel like you're removed from the situation? Yeah, it makes you feel like you're watching a movie. It's very nice of you to say, Mr. Robot. That was kind of the whole thing behind Rooster Teeth, is that we realized that the internet broke down the walls between content creator and content consumer, you know, in a way that never existed before. The way I always explained it early on when people would ask, you know, what made Rooster Teeth special or different, is that I would always say that when I was growing up, I loved Star Wars, but I never in a million years thought I could tell George Lucas that. Or that if I wrote him a letter to tell him how great lightsabers are, or Chewbacca was, that he would ever see it, let alone respond to me. But with the internet, we can have that conversation right now, you know? That's what makes the internet and online entertainment so fucking awesome. Heist the movie and the Daily Mario. Oh, man, that was so much fun doing that Daily Mario. I love Larry, too. How many random packages do you think Andrew will send to the office this year? 0 so far, but, you know, fingers crossed. How about when your senior drill instructor asks if you can move any slower and your 17-year-old brain thinks, yeah. Yeah, I had a few moments like that in my military career where your brain didn't catch up to your mouth. Yeah. Larry Matavina from Achievement Hunter. Shifty Larry. We contract him to edit for regulation sometimes. Thank you, Val MK. No, Rockstar's greedy. Got to go buy shark cards. Gavin and I were talking about that the other day, about how much money we spent on shark cards in Achievement Hunter. Probably over 1,000 each, I'd say. I mean, we made Made that money back on videos, but man, a lot of money to be spent in GTA Online. Got to go to a union meeting. Have a good time. We'll see you later, Toasterifically. Thank you for the sub, Gail Sear. Larry is the best, I agree. During boot camp, was there ever a time when you hit the rack and woke up the next morning and someone was gone? No. I watched people wash out a lot, but nobody just disappeared overnight. You're at the age now where when you buy a game, it doesn't mean you're in the mood to play it at that particular time. It might take you yeah, same. I feel the same way about books. Like, I see a book that I know I'll want to read eventually. I'll buy it now just to have it, but it could be 5 years before I crack it. I'm not sure if he works with any of the other XRT groups or not. Andrew typically interfaces with our editors the most often. It's kind of his like behind the scenes thing that he does, manages all that. So I'll have to ask him. That's very kind of you to say, Boost. Thank you so much. We want to do, thank you for saying that, Ryan, we want to do something, again, we agree, it was one of the most successful things that we've done, the daily March Mario series, and we want to do it again without just the problem with us is we don't want to do something repetitively the same way twice if it doesn't warrant it. So we want to come up with a new and different bit that could be real daily content, but we're working on it. It's not the last time you'll see us do something like that, for sure. God damn it. How far into that was I? 30 minutes? 10 minutes. 10 minutes is probably enough. That sucks. And here's what I was talking about. Reasons that some games just aren't ideal. Ideally, I'd like to film for more than 30 minutes at a time, but I've got it down to 15 just for feasibility sake. But it used to be, by the way, 30 minutes exactly on Sea of Thieves last time I did this, so they have upped it from 30 minutes to 10 minutes, it looks like. Let's do you. Do I still have Apex? Oh, I don't have Apex on anymore. If I could go, is it good to film in? Can I go HUDless? Yeah, a lot of games will kick you for inactivity pretty quickly, unfortunately. How have I been enjoying the solo stream life? Oh, it's okay. I wouldn't say I really do it. I wouldn't really say I'm living that life because most of what I do is still, collaborative with the Regulation Podcast and all the gameplays and everything that we do every week. But I stream for like an hour and a half, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday usually. That's fun. Mostly just tell people about Regulation, remind them that it exists. Let's pick a different reserve, huh? Without having to buy it. Let's do Africa. All right. How do we do that? You guys will have to forgive me while there we go. Try to remember how to put my shit away. I don't think I've filmed in this game yet. Oh, there's a bridge. Should we check that out? Is this how fast I read books? It depends on if I just read really fast or really slow. Yeah, Sidekick and Robot drafts are a lot of fun. Oh, that's awesome to hear, David Hagawad. Duh. Would you please tell him I said hello and thank you for the support? Oh, yeah, that's true. It's all Battle Royale and Apex. I haven't done a puzzle since I got home from my vacation. I did a bunch of puzzles on the cruise. Really reinvigorated my love of puzzles, but I have one space in my new house to do puzzles, and I either have room for baseball cards, projects, or puzzles. And right now, it's filled with baseball card projects. So it'll be a minute before I get to do a puzzle again. I'm bummed about it. I've been trying to do the puzzle contest again with regulation, but it doesn't seem to be happening, and I don't know why. Sometimes it's you just got to do it yourself, you know. I guess I haven't pushed hard enough to get it done. How about this? This would be nice. Nice little African Sahara. Let's record this. See if we can go for a good 15 minutes. Building of the pyramids. That would be very cool to see. That'd be very cool to see. I don't know. That's a good question. I'll have to put some thought into that. 18 days of 18 holes. We could actually do 30 days of 30 holes, Mark. We can kind of set it to be whatever we want. I did pitch to the guys the other day. We I don't know how far behind in the recording we are versus what we released, but we have filmed through all of the 3D Ultra Mini Golf holes now. We had access to a DLC as well that had 18 more holes, and we filmed all of that. And I think that means we're done with what we can film in 3D Ultra Mini Golf, because there was another DLC that got delisted that we can't get to, and then there was a sequel that also got delisted. So I don't think we can ever play those, but one way to keep it going, I thought would be to let the audience vote on like 9 holes that we have to play. And then I'll just make those maps. And then like you could basically pick the shittiest or hardest 9 holes or however you want to do it, and kind of force us to play like a greatest hits. So maybe we'll do that down the road. Photography simulator, I have it. Oh, you're talking about a different one. I have one that I just bought on Xbox Live about maybe a month ago that almost is awesome. It's almost awesome, but it has some serious, like there's a bug on all the images and the camera that you can't get rid of. It's all kinds of stuff that it's another example of a game that almost works for filming that doesn't quite. World's Fair in 1964. Why that one in specific? I would like to go to the Chicago World's Fair of 1893. I think that'd be cool. I am. Thank you, Offbeat Plays. Hope you are as well. Wild golf. That's funny. I feel like I see some TikToks that are kind of essentially like that. I like to watch if you ever get on TikTok feeds that are just dudes that are bored at work, so they invent games to play. I saw this one this morning that made me laugh because it reminded me so much of being in the Army. It was a bunch of dudes at a tire place, I guess, or just some sort of a mechanic shop, maybe an oil change place. And they were seeing who could throw tires the farthest. And they just like, if you hit the curb at the right angle, it made it pounce up into the air and just roll forever. And they just had a contest with a parking cone to see who could roll a tire the farthest. And I watched the whole fucking video, just thoroughly entertained. And it made me think of 1,000 different times I'd done something like that in the Army with friends. Have I reckoned with the fact that so many people think of you and your content as formative in their lives? How does one even do that? I have not, Box Baby. That hit Gavin really hard. I don't want to speak for Gavin, but that hit Gavin pretty hard when we did the walk down memory lane video in Achievement City. Like it really affected him in a good way. Like he was really kind of overwhelmed by how much it meant to people and the stories they shared and stuff. Trying to think of how to answer this. I definitely haven't reckoned with it, and it catches me off guard to this day when people say it. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I'll ever be able to accept that. I didn't see the Cheese Chase this year, but my friend Ben was telling me about it. You thought it sucked? Thank you. I appreciate that. IB Zeal. Thank you. What was my least favorite MREs? Oh, Christ. I liked chicken and rice a lot. I think corned beef hash was my favorite MRE. I don't remember what my least favorite was. If there was a fish one, it would have been that, but I genuinely can't remember. Oh, hell yes, Goggy. I'm so happy that you found us. We're just hanging out, filming backgrounds for the Regulation Podcast. So if you want to watch this tree blow in the wind for another 10 minutes or so, and then a different tree blow in the wind, you are in the right place. No worries, Box Baby. That's what I'm here for. I don't know how to stream. All I know how to do is hang out and talk to you guys. I feel like other people manage it differently. So I just park a camera and chat. You checked out the podcast after the last stream? Thank you so much, Tom. I really appreciate that. Am I back on pastrami? Oh, man. I fucking almost ate a pastrami sandwich yesterday. My wife and I got subs from... I guess it wasn't yesterday. I guess it was 2 days ago. We got subs from this place in South Austin called Tucci's Subs that everybody talks about. It's one of those places that's known to be a good sub spot in town. And I actually used to go there a lot when Gus and I worked at the tech support center before Rooster Teeth. It was a different sub shop back then. It was called Delaware Subs. And I think one of the guys that worked there bought it. And so I kind of continued the lineage of what it was. And they had a pastrami sub that looked really, or pastrami sandwich rather, that looked really fucking good. But the first time I go to a sub shop, I always just try to get like the Italian sub wherever it is. And so I got that instead. And it was okay. I really think I messed up by not getting the pastrami. That ad that you saw on TikTok is the reason we have them, T-Mortal. I think that's the ad that my wife saw. And she was like, you should get this. Definitely another tree quest. There's always another tree to film. I'm reading a book right now, Skoggy. What am I reading? It's called Amulet by... Take a photo of it. I wasn't going to buy it at the bookstore, but then I did. By Roberto Bolaño. He's a Mexican author, I believe. And it was written in, I don't know, 60s or 70s maybe, I believe. Anyway, it's called Amulet. And it's about a lady who, well, so far she cleans up after poets, but I think she gets involved in a standoff with the military at like a school. I'll let you know. I'm really enjoying it so far. I just finished, before that I finished a book that it took me over a year to read in a good way. I just didn't want to end the story. It was called A Hero of Our Time by Mikhail Lermontov, I believe is his name. He's a Russian author from the 1860s, I think it was written. And I read it because I like Dostoevsky a lot, and he always cites this guy as one of his influences. So I thought I should probably check that out. And holy shit, that was a great book. I didn't want it to end. Thanks for the sub, Disappointed. You're jealous of American sandwich shops? I'm not going to lie. We got some good ones. I hope you have a great day too, Dinkelberg. Yeah, even chain sandwich shops are pretty good. Like, honestly, Jersey Mike's is about as good as it gets around here. There's a place that I do like more called Other Side Subs, which also used to be a Delaware sub shop and is a different sub shop now, interestingly enough. But it's more in Central Austin. Emily and I went through a phase probably two or 3 years ago where every fucking Saturday we went and got subs from Other Side. I don't know why. It was just like we would always, it started out, we just would find ourselves out and be like, oh, let's just grab a sub on the way home. And then we started going just to get the sub. And then it became this run where I want to say for like 3 or 4 months straight, not every weekend, but I'd say, 5 out of 6 weekends in a row we would go. Oh, thank you so much, Offbeat. I have not read the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, no. I take it you think I should? Is it pretty good? What music have I been listening to lately? Let me tell you. It's a good question. Let's see what's on the playlist right now. I'm always listening to Ted Hawkins these days. A lot of Ted Hawkins. Let's see. Pearl and the Oysters. Oh, Boilermaker. I've been listening to this band Boilermaker a lot. Tierra Whack. I'm always listening to. Swum and Ginseng. They do like ambient music. I like them a lot. A lot of old REM. I've been listening to a lot of old Metallica. I've been listening to a shitload of Zoinks lately because it came up recently. And it's all right. There's this Central American band or South. I'm not sure where they're from. Called Los Psychos that were like one of the first garage-y kind of punk bands from the 60s. I've been listening to them a lot. They have a song called Demolition that's really fun. Went through an old like New York hardcore phase briefly, so I've been listening to a lot of early Sick of It All and early Agnostic Front. I really like the Lambrini Girls. I've been checking them out a lot. Been on a Crimpshine kick lately. And I've been meaning to get into a sleep phase. I've been thinking it's time to get into like a sleep era for a little bit. So I'll probably start doing that soon. Lit RPG. Okay. Thanks for the recommendation, Tim and Tonic. I haven't listened to Ren. From Wales, you say? Why am I in the savannah? I'm just filming 15 minutes of this tree blowing in the wind. Filming backgrounds for the Regulation Podcast. Every episode of the Regulation Podcast that comes out, we film a background in a video game for the YouTube release, just so there's something to look at while you're listening. Well, I grew up in the 80s, so I'm pretty familiar with a lot of. I don't know if I still like it, but I definitely liked it when I was in it. The Rum Jacks. Okay. Oh, you started a CPAP. How's that going for you? It changed your life. That's great. I low-key hope that the CPAP is going better for Gavin and Andrew than they let on for content, you know. I hope it is actually helping them. Who do I think had the most unrecognized or underrated talent out of all the people I worked with at RT? I mean, that could apply to a million people. I don't know. I felt that way about Andrew for many, many years. That's why we started the Regulation Podcast. But there are so many people behind the scenes. Cinematographers, people that did lighting, people People in every department of Rooster Teeth were talented. Literally every department of Rooster Teeth were talented. People in the ecom team, you know, were so capable and so talented. There's that would be really you could throw a rock and hit 20 people at Rooster Teeth who are more talented than you, than me, not you, but you know, you in general. Any opinion on the best brisket in Austin? I don't know. I'll be honest. I'm not super into brisket or barbecue in general anymore. You kind of get burned out on it after a while. You know, La Barbecue or Interstellar or Franklin, maybe KG. I had Lambert's the other night. It's the first barbecue I've had in a long time, and it was fucking great. Tony was and still is a phenomenally talented person. Thank you for the sub, Skemmage. Yeah, that's absolutely true, Game Master. I mean, you guys, you know, there was a period in time when Rooster Teeth had about 400 employees, and you saw about 30 of them, you know. What was my impression of Chibi Doki? She's cool. I liked her. She's fun. Felt like if Ray had told me that I had filmed with her 10 times over the past decade in collabs, I hate that word, but in collaborative videos, I would have believed him. She was great. Oh, I'm glad you got to as well, Skemmich. I'm sure I'll film with Chibi Doki again someday. If I ever do another collab with those guys. I fucking use that word again. I hate it. God damn it, I hate that word. Ugh. Can I talk about how the expansion corporatizing of RT created issues? Well, don't need to go into specifics. Things got harder as expectations grew. Well, I think you just nailed it. Things got harder as expectations grew. It also allowed, I mean, you could look at it, there was good and bad, you know. It allowed us to create a bunch of stuff that we never would have created. The idea that we would have ever made something like Haunter or Hardcore Tabletop or The Weird Place or none of that stuff could have ever existed without parent companies. So there was a lot of good and a lot of bad. I just don't like the word. I don't like shortcut words. I think the word collab sounds douchey. I hate how people throw it around in a douchey way. It just grates on me, and it got under my skin, and it won't get out from under it. And I hate it because I say it. I catch myself saying it, which makes me hate it even more. Oh, thank you, Skaggy. It was a lot of fun to be a ghost hunter for a little while. Iggy Pop versus Alice Cooper. You know, Mark, I would have said Iggy Pop, hands down, until I saw Alice Cooper perform last year. And I might say Alice Cooper now. He's a very fucking cool guy. Very fucking cool. And so much fun to see live. And after I saw him, I read a bunch about him, and he's just fascinating. I have a lot of love for those first couple Stooges albums, though. Funhouse is like an untouchable album. Do I like Haunter or Hardcore Tabletop more? They were very different things. I don't know if I could pick one or the other. But I mean, Hardcore Tabletop was way easier to produce, but Haunter was really exciting. I don't know. This is Call of the Wild, the Hunter, I believe. Who Are You game? I think we should. I hope we will. Would you have changed it if you could? Stayed in one of the older places? No, I don't know. I don't know. It's growth and change was inevitable. I don't think Rooster Teeth would have made it as long as they did if it weren't for the acquisition. Something just fell in the back of the room. My blinds, I think, got broken. And it scared the shit out of Albert, who was sleeping on the sofa. And he just fucking bolted to my feet. Yeah, I played Roadcraft a little bit. I didn't like it at first, and then I played it again and enjoyed it more. But it's like SnowRunner on easy mode. You know, there's no gas, there's no damage to vehicles. I don't know. Thanks for the sub, the Pluth. Do I enjoy talking about RT so much? I don't mind. It's no different than talking about music or I don't know. Anything really. Video games. It's just my life. Just whatever people want to talk about. Hunter Call of the Wild is great. That's how I was playing the fishing one rather, sorry. Call of the Wild Angler, and then I found this one through that. Yeah, sold Red versus Blue at the Old School Hot Topic. Man, I put that deal together, made that happen, and we made like 5 cents a DVD or something off that. It was brutal. Hold on a second, I gotta read this text. Excuse me. Sorry, I have to. There's so much work that goes on behind the scenes to running a company. Dealing with dental insurance today, trying to get that finished so we can have dental. Do I remember driving in London? I definitely do. I drove the shit out of London on one specific trip. Do I do much photography these days? Nah, not really. I've relinquished that to my daughter. She's the photographer in the family. RVB physical merchandise is so wild to me. I was making a joke, but the margins were fucking ridiculous at working with retail stores, and we did T-shirts and DVDs in Hot Topic, and the margins were just it's so insignificant that that we didn't really make any money doing it. It was just about getting the DVDs and the shirts out there so that people would see them and learn about us. But yeah, I was just laughing about it because I was so excited to get that deal done, and I was really proud of myself for being able to pull it off, and we didn't really make any money off of it, and we weren't a good fit, and I think we were only in Hot Topic for maybe 2 years. Yeah, I think Millie does. You should probably check it out on Instagram, whatever her Instagram username is. She calls herself a million different things, so I'm not sure what her Instagram handle is, but just look her up on Instagram. She puts a lot of her photography up there. Have I had the opportunity to do any biking? Hell yeah. I've been biking every day. Today's the first day I haven't biked in 4 or 5 days because it rained like a motherfucker last night, and I just didn't want to ride in the mud this morning. Do I ever go back and watch things like the old Peggle video as more of a family-friendly video than a piece of content? Oh, more of a family video? No, I do not. I really don't. I have watched a few bits of videos here and there just to remember like how an idea went or the name of something, you know, like looking for a GTA video game type that we played, and I can't remember what it was called, so I'll go back and like look at like 2 minutes of an old video to catch that, and then sometimes you get sucked in, watch for 4 or 5 minutes, but no, not really. Not really. I never really enjoyed watching or listening to myself in things, so that always kind of takes me out of it. Was that a workable loss leader? Oh, I don't remember. Ryan, as this was in 2004 or 5, you know, I can't remember. I think if I had to guess, I'd say we probably sold 30,000 items over 2 years through them and maybe made, I don't know, 30 cents a piece or something. I really couldn't tell you. Nah, I don't, not really. I play pitch and putt every once in a while, like once every 5 years. Ziggy Zag, what's up? My day's great, thank you. How's your sober journey going? Good. I hit 8 years in March, so 4 years is definitely a real time, and people should treat it like it's real for sure. And please tell your brother I say congratulations. Been watching the NBA. I've been watching the Western Conference Finals and kind of keeping tabs on the ECF. I did watch. Well, yeah, I guess I've been watching both. The guides they made with 4-year-old Millie. Yeah. I never get sick of watching old videos of Millie when she was a kid for sure. No, it wasn't offense defense. It was it was either Overtime Rumble or Sumo. Overtime Rumble's currently not available though. Let me see what we just asked. Did Regulation get the Haunter IP? No, we did not. We didn't get the Let's Play channel either. We wanted the Let's Play channel, but it was too pricey for us, too rich for our blood. We just got Fuckface. I mean, and some other stuff like that I got, but yeah, we didn't get Haunter or any Achievement Hunter or Let's Play. That's 4 months with no alcohol is huge, All Black. Congratulations. I hope you're proud of yourself. 2-hour nap is it's like 30 minutes too long. It's in that weird time period where it's like it hurts to wake up. That is so incredibly kind of you to say, Moldy Pirate. Thank you so much for sharing that. And for spelling my name Goef. I also appreciate that. All right, this is more than enough on this screen. Let's get out of here. I got to do one. What time are we at? 3:45? Yeah, it's fine. I got one more. All right, I got one more of these in me. Let's, wish I could bounce around the map faster. I'd probably have to play it to unlock fast travel points or something. It's really easy to do in the fishing one. This is nice. Be cool if a lion or something showed up, but I imagine it would also kill me. Oh, I bet that's pretty down there. Could I go back to them in the future and acquire Let's Play at a lower price? I don't know. I don't really want to. I'm sure anybody that had the money to buy it could buy it. We wanted it. We just didn't want it that bad. It's not integral to what we do. I was kind of joking about just filming trees, but this is a really pretty tree. Kind of a static, boring shot, though. I think this is actually a little bit more interesting. Yeah, fuck it. This'll do. All right, this will be our last setup of the day. No, I never saw the Dead Island trailer. It's not really a fucker. We wouldn't use it. We don't really need it. Thanks for saying that, Box Baby. Video games are the only things I film in anymore. Do we still plan to do Extra Life together? I don't know. I know Jack's still involved in Extra Life, and I'm sure he'll put something together. So would it have been more fighting to hold on to what was on the? I mean, it would have been nice to have the passive income from people watching the old videos, but with no plans on doing anything with the channel, really. I mean, we just need a place to put our gameplay videos up. It's cool that it was they were on the Let's Play channel for a little while, but it's not the end of the world. We just put them on our own channel, you know? Thank you for the sub, Opportune FX. Who has the regulation play button? I have one of them right here in my office. And I think Gavin has one. That we can get as many as we want. So basically whoever wanted one got one. Although we did just cross 100K on the gaming channel, so there will be new regulation play buttons for that. So I need to get that. If you're asking, if you're asking for like Let's Play and Achievement Hunter play buttons, Gavin saved those for me and keeps trying to get me to take them home. But he's got them over at his place. And so I'll grab those at some point. Yeah, there's definitely passive income from those old channels, but it's not like nothing to set it's not going to set the world on fire or anything. And it's only, back catalogs are only fed by new content. That's how they stay alive. And so we already started putting all of our new content elsewhere. For all I know, Andrew has a regulation play button in a box that's never been opened in his house right now. Would I mind sharing the approximate back channel passive? Yeah. Yeah, I would. It doesn't feel like it's mine to share. That'd be sharing Warner Brothers financials, and I don't know that would be super kosher for me to do. I'm not trying to run afoul of any of my previous parent companies in any way whatsoever. Still downstairs next to the headrest on his bed. That headrest came into discussion recently. I don't know if it's in an episode that's come out yet or one that we've just recorded that hasn't come out yet, but there were some interesting updates on his headboard. Oh, don't worry about that box, baby. Listen, showing up and supporting by hanging out and having conversations, checking out the content if you get a free moment, that's all the support in the world I could ever ask for. You don't ever have to spend a dime on us. Just showing up and saying hi is more than enough. We really appreciate it. I'm at home right now, Sanborn. I was at the office earlier today just to check on things because we had a big storm last night. And I just wanted to make sure the place didn't flood or anything, How would I sell Regulation Podcast to someone who's never seen or heard it? Gavin described it as deep lore about nothing. And so that's become like our official tagline for the podcast. You acquired the rights to your RT merch line. I do have those. I haven't gotten to work on it. It's on the bottom of the pile of things to do. I'll get there at some point, but there's just so much other stuff to do. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, G.I. Joder. Is Regulation Podcast just fuckface? It is the spiritual successor to Fuckface. I think it's better than Fuckface, but it's essentially the same show. Yeah, just rebranded. It's where Fuckface would be right now if we were still doing Fuckface. Andrew's big update was that it was still downstairs, but it's in the process. He said it's halfway up the stairs, right? Is what he said. He's making progress. Not physically halfway up the stairs, but he's halfway towards getting it to his bedroom somehow, whatever that means. Oh, thanks for supporting, Sophie Cake. Did Albert just bark? I don't know what that was. Maybe it was in the game. The fuckface baseball flag. Oh, the Boys of Zimmer one? We own all the rights to all that shit. We could remake it. Any chance of the Alphabet getting a season 2? Oh, man, I don't know. That was a fun one for sure. If you're not familiar with what King Jacob Lear is talking about, and if you wanted to know what Regulation Podcast is about, one of the things we did on Fuckface, the previous iteration, was we did an Alphabet where, I don't remember the length of time. Was it a week or a couple of days? You could only eat food that started with one letter and the letter that you pulled randomly from I think from bingo or something, from bingo balls. And I got U. And man, there's not a lot of food that starts with U. Bulldogs are the fucking best, but the upkeep is ridiculous and it's expensive. Albert doesn't go to the vet for less than like $600 every fucking time. My dog's name is Albert. I don't know who Archie is. What's up, Aguilar? Urchins? Yeah, I could have eaten urchins for a week. We make sports stuff so entertaining, even to someone like me. Thank you so much, T Mortal TV. I really appreciate that. I mean, I know that Nick's kid is Archie, but I'm not hanging out with Nick's kid today. I really appreciate you saying that, T Mortal TV, because I think sports is the best, and I think it's a turnoff to a lot of people because of stereotypes. But there's so much fun and drama and nonsense going on in sports that's great to talk about or lampoon or make bets out of, you know? And I always describe it to people as the NBA and Major League Baseball, the sports that I follow, are basically Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or Orange County or Potomac or Salt Lake City. It's a reality show where all the same fights are happening. It's just, you just have to understand how it's all going down, you know? It's just drama. I love it. Seasonal allergies are brutal. You get Cytopoint injections. Yeah, Albert gets he gets Cytopoint once a month, but he also has been going to a specialist who has mixed up these special A and B serums that we have to self administer to him with shots, and I've been giving him those every 10 days, 2 shots. For like the last 3 months, and that's getting real old. And I also hate doing it, and it's gross, and it sucks to have to give your dog shots. But hopefully, it'll make him far less allergic in the future. Yeah, the Luka trade this year was some of the best drama and soap opera content in the last decade. John Boy is John Boy is a good one to consume. You like Doris saying SJ is the free throw merchant? Yeah. Sports feels honest and earnest and human. I completely agree. Oh, that's okay. No worry, Cosmic. Cleaning up their wrinkles. Yeah, you got to clean their folds every day. You got to boop their nose with nose butter. His big thing is his feet. If we don't wipe his feet down pretty much after every time he goes outside, they just get rough. He just gets so itchy, even with the Cytopoint and with the other injections. He just gets itchy little feet. And then if you don't clean his folds, like after about, well, you got to clean them, but he'll get hot spots, and that's a nightmare. You don't want those. taking care of an English bulldog, this is my second one now. Taking care of an English bulldog is essentially a full-time job. And it's a very expensive full-time job that you pay for the privilege of having. But it's the sweetest fucking creature on earth, so they make up for it. How was the wedding the other day? It was great. It was awesome. I assume you're talking to Trevor and Barbara's wedding. It was fantastic. I got to see a bunch of people that I hadn't seen in a really long time and catch up. And it was a big, wonderful, heartwarming experience. And I was really honored and excited to get to be there and to share in their special day. And I was just so happy for them and proud of them both. Albert, does he sleep on his back? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes. He didn't used to, but he's gotten into it lately. He did last night. Special socks for him, yeah. Have I heard their Mall Dream episode? I haven't, no. Watching them walk after putting socks on would be worth it alone. I don't think Albert would handle it well. For sure. All right, I got about 3 or 4 more minutes here, and then I'll have to call it. I had a bunch of behind-the-scenes administrative work I got to knock out before 5. Ay. Bruce, I haven't talked to that dude in a long time. I think he streams though. And he had a kid, right? I think he's doing well. Do I do this every week? I tend to stream Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday if I can at all. Thursdays and Fridays are usually taken up with doing regulation recordings. My current favorite trash TV. I'm kind of on the outs with Love Island. I haven't enjoyed it in a while. Temptation Island's great. I like The Ultimatum a lot. But I would say my favorite reality show of all time is probably Traitors. Traitors is amazing in every iteration. But lately I've been watching, Emily and I have both been really into real Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And I just started to watch, we went through all of Southern Charm, and so now I've started to watch Southern Hospitality, and I'm enjoying that. No more Blueprints has been recorded, but I think Eric is open to doing another video. So maybe in the future. All your friends are mad about Love on the Spectrum. I haven't watched it. Oh, that's not true. I watched 1 or 2 episodes of the first season. I never really kept up with it though. We haven't started Charmed yet. We need to. Summer travel starts to make things complicated. Regulation collab. Gavin and I just played Repo with Ray like a week or 2 ago. I think Gavin's done it twice with him now, and I've done it once. So I think those videos are even up online. So there you go. There is your regulation collab. I'm curious if someone will link your Twitch accounts to the Regulation Discord to let us know who is streaming. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm just streaming personally, but I basically am just here to talk about regulation. Well, I'll talk about whatever you want to, but I'm mostly just here to remind people about regulation and try to convince people to listen to the podcast. All right, everybody. I think that's going to do it. That's 15 minutes on this recording. I'm going to go ahead and stop that. And believe me, I'd much rather be sticking around here for another 30 minutes or so to film this with you guys, but instead I have to fill out some paperwork for our insurance. So that's going to be a lot less fun, I think. Hope everybody has a great evening, and I will most likely be back tomorrow So look for me then, I guess. Listen to the Regulation Podcast. All right, bye.